Over the last 30 days, I have significantly increased my Depop sales. I'm talking up 600%. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my recent sales over the last month. Let me show you these sales. I'm not talking a little bit, I'm talking about a lot. My last 7 days was around $300, but my 30 days was close to 1,000. And then if you compare that to the previous 3 months, it's abysmal. There are many things that I have been doing to increase my Depop sales that are finally working, but in today's video, I'm just going to be covering the sales. There are a couple things that I want to note before diving in. One, Depop has some of the lowest platform fees that you're ever going to see, especially if you don't do boosting. And I'm going to talk through a breakdown of a couple of them, not every single one, but I'm going to talk about how much I actually receive for the items so that you can compare them to platforms like eBay and Poshmark. It's insane. Also take note while we're on the screen of views and clicks because your visibility on Depop is significantly higher in a lot of cases compared to platforms just because they are fast growing and there aren't as many sellers on Depop as there are on other platforms. All right, this first one is a dress, which is becoming one of my all-time favorite categories. This one is a gorgeous dress that I use certain keywords for, such as fairy, asymmetrical, whimsical. I priced this one a little bit higher just because of all of the beautiful details. It was by the brand Eva Blue. Oh my gosh, look at those sleeves. And take a look at the stats down here. So I do boost all of my items. And the way that boosting works with Depop is it acts like a promoted listing, but you only pay if it sells under the boosted listing. The great thing about boosting on Depop is you can reap the benefits of boosting even if it doesn't sell boosted. And their boosting significantly increases your visibility on the platform. Again, I'm not going to go into it on every single item, but if you want to check out some of the visibility, check out the boosting stats here. So this dress sold on an offer for $35. By the way, this is a topic for another video, but I recently switched my cross-posting tool. I'll be doing a video about that hopefully soon because I'm sure a lot of you are going to have a lot of questions, but I found a new cross-posting tool that works so much better for my business and my own workflow. And one of the things that it does is auto send out offers on multiple platforms. Depop is one of them. So some of these are from automatic offers, which is really nice. This one I had listed for around $45 plus shipping, and I ended up selling the item on an offer for $35. I was boosting this item and it did sell on a boosted listing. So my boosting fee was $2.80, but my Depop payment fee was only $1.98, which is so incredibly low. So they only charge a processing fee for payment. They do not charge listing and selling fees, if that makes sense. If you sell an item that is not from a boosted listing, the fee is so incredibly low. When it does sell with a boosted listing like this one did, it ends up being relatively the same amount of fees that you would have on eBay, but without the promoted listing fee. So it ends up being roughly 13 to 15-ish%. So I sold this for $35 plus shipping, and I put into my pocket before cost of goods $30.22. By the way, because I've been selectively cross-posting, most of these items are style-based and they came from the bins, which means that my cost of goods is likely $1.50 on average. So I am really putting a lot of money in my pocket, net profit-wise per piece. All right, next up is a completely unbranded item. By the way, you're going to see a lot of these. I think because a lot of these style-based ones are working so well for me on Depop, I'm going to continue really pushing those through, but also incorporating some name brand stuff in because I have been selling some of that as well. This one was a little bit less substantial of a piece than I would have liked, and it had some flaws. So I priced it lower, and then I had my cross-posting tool automatically send out offers, and this ended up selling for an offer of $20. And because there was no boosting fee, I only paid the payment processing fee, which was $1.45. I made $18.55 before cost of goods, and this likely cost us $1.50. So it's crazy how many, I guess, more bread and butter items I can sell that still meet my net profit goals on Depop. Next up is this. This is a modern brand called Bershka. I think it might even be fast fashion. I'm not sure. It reminds me of Zara a little bit, but style-wise was a great piece. I used the keyword chartreuse in this because it's a very specific color, which is between like green and yellow. And then I also used fairy grunge for this because it was screaming fairy grunge. Look how many views and clicks this thing got. This one had so much interest. 61 likes. I actually thought it was more than that. 61 likes at the time that it sold. This one ended up selling for my full asking price of around $30, and I only paid the payment processing fee, which was $1.65, making my net earnings before cost of goods $28.23. And with that $1.50 cost of goods, it ends up being around $26 net profit. Next up is a Chelsea and Theodore dress. This again is just a style-based piece. This one was a little far off base, but it kind of reminded me of Farm Rio. It gave me Farm Rio vibes, so I tried to style base flip it for that reason, but it didn't really fit into any of the top trending categories. This one I listed for $35 and it ended up selling on an offer for $20. Somebody sent me an offer for $20. This item has sat for us, probably because we picked it up with hopes and dreams. And because it wasn't within a major style aesthetic that's trending right now, it took forever and I definitely paid for that. But it sold for $20 just to get it to move. A payment fee of only $1.45 and my net earnings before COGS was $18.55. Here's another unbranded item. This is a corsety, meshy type top with super cute strawberries on it. This one I use the keyword fairy and corset, of course. I listed this one for $30 plus shipping. This one I accepted an offer of $23 on. This one was boosted, so when all was said and done, I had a gross profit of $19.66. All right, I'm gonna move through the net profit breakdown and just show you guys what sold. This next one is one that sold super quickly after being listed, had a ton of interest click-wise and also likes, considering that it wasn't listed for very long. This one is a vintage Juicy Couture Y2K velour zip hoodie. Keep your eye out for Y2K velour sweatshirts, especially ones in brands that were well known like Juicy Couture, and especially ones that have jeweled bedazzling all over them. They are highly sought after in the Y2K community. I listed this one for $40. It sold on an offer for $32. And after all was said and done, I received roughly around $27. And I say that because I have the ability to do shipping on my own on Depop. Newer sellers do not. And for some of the heavier items, I choose to ship on my own just because it's more cost effective for myself and the buyer. All right, next up is a New York & Company top. This one's also a Y2K fairy grunge style, whimsy goth, lots of meshy, lacy, sheer details in beautiful colors. This one I listed for $30. This one did sell for my full asking price of $30. And even though this one was boosted, it did not sell on a boosted listing. So I only paid $1.65 in fee. Here's another completely unbranded item. This is a corset top. This is the kind of stuff that you can find in the bras or pajama section of the thrift store where you can get things for relatively cheap and they can flip on sites like Depop for quite a bit. There's a lot of interest for these items. You can see that there was almost 10,000 views, so it showed about 10,000 times in somebody's search, 300 clicks, and 58 likes. This unbranded item sold on an offer for $23. Next up, another completely unbranded item. This one was also completely style-based. I listed this one for $30. This one sold on that automatic offer that my cross-posting tool is sending out for $25.50. A super quick flip. This one, again, just very grungy style details, very Y2K. Another completely unbranded item. This one is an unbranded Y2K lacy sheer. You guys kind of getting the vibe. There's some themes here. A whimsy goth style dress. I use the keywords midi dress, floral lace, romantic, cocktail, and witchy. This one was listed for $55. I sold it on an offer for $44, and this one was sold on a boosted listing. This one is a Forever 21 Y2K style meshy bodysuit. This one I had listed for $30 and it sold for my full asking price of $30. This one was boosted but did not sell on a boosted listing, so I only paid $1.64 in fees. Here's another kind of like lingerie style thing. This is Shirley of Hollywood. I'm actually not sure. This may be a bolo, but I think it's more so just style basic, great piece. Again, sheer details. This one was also a size large and had a lot of interest. I listed this one for $45 and it sold on an offer for $38.25, which was automatically sent out by my cross listing tool. And I only paid a payment fee of $1.93. All right, here is a fun one. This is a brand-based item that is not style-based. It is Reformation. So there are some modern brands that actually are popular on Depop and do sell well in there. I would definitely say Reformation is one of those brands. I listed this black dress size extra small for $60 and it sold on an offer to watchers for $51. Next up, this is a dress that ended up having some issues, so we quick sold it. I listed this one for $35. It's the brand Be Darlin' and was a style-based flip. Really great dress, just again had some more issues than we expected. It sold on an offer sent out by my cross-posting tool for around $30, and this one did get charged the boosting fee. This is an item I've had for a while and I got it reworked, relisted using the new cross-posting tool automatically, and it sold shortly after that. A buyer sent me an offer for $23 and I went ahead and accepted that offer because again, I've been sitting on this for a while. I only paid a payment fee of $1.42. All right, next up is an Anthropologie top. This is another brand that I feel like does perform well on Depop, and also Free People, I would say, is one of their better ones that perform. So there are a lot of brand-based ones that can perform. This one's a pretty simple Anthropologie top. It's called the Isadora tunic. I listed this for $30 and it did sell for my full asking price. And even though it was boosted, it did not sell on a boosted listing. So I only paid a payment fee of $1.76. Next up, this is a vintage Y2K dress barn women's top. This is very patchwork style. I use the keywords Y2K, fairy grunge, and also 90s. And this one I listed higher because it was such a great piece at around $40. And this one ended up selling on an offer for $30. And because this did not sell on a boosted listing, I only paid a payment processing fee of $1.76. All right, next up, another modern label. This is Free People. This is that gorgeous dress that I thought about keeping in that thrift haul. Very gauzy, size large, longer length, milkmaid style. Did this one for $55 and it sold in just 25 days on an offer for $44, and I only paid a payment processing fee of $2.26. So I got to keep most of that money. Look at me. I said I wasn't going to do the breakdown and here I am doing it again. All right, next up, this was also a very popular item. This sold in under 30 days. This is a vintage Y2K Hollister top. Hollister has become very, very trendy in the Y2K community, almost as much as Abercrombie & Fitch, because it was vintage Hollister and very unique. I knew it was going to perform well. So it's a strapless, completely ruffled top with a little bow. I listed this for $35. This one also showed up in search almost 10,000 times, over 300 clicks, and over 100 likes. So I listed for $35, got an offer for $25, and accepted and moved the item. I only paid a payment processing fee of $1.57. Next up, this is also style-based. This is a Romans Y2K plus size, very fairy grunge skirt. This thing was beautiful and a great color for fall. I listed this one for $35. It had 60 likes at the time that it sold, and my cross-listing tool sent out an offer to all of the likes, and it ended up selling on one of those offers for $25.60. I only paid a payment processing fee of $1.63. This is another style-based piece by the brand Ultra Flirt. It's just modern, but it had a very Y2K 90s grunge style with the micro floral and the baby doll top. Listed for $30, had a lot of interest, sold in less than 30 days for an offer of $25, and I only paid $1.59 in fees. This next one is a plus size Y2K top, lacy details, baby doll style. Gorgeous piece. I listed this one for $30 and it sold on an offer for $24. I only paid a payment processing fee of $1.54. All right, I did sell quite a few men's items this past month. I did pull quite a few of them with a similar theme. Let's see if you can catch it and let me know in the comments down below. This one is a men's waffle knit thermal Henley. This is just by the brand St. John's Bay. It is a completely modern item. I listed this one for $30 and somebody bought it at my full asking price of $30. And this is a vest that I've been holding on to for a little while. I guess the style and the size is just something that is pretty readily abundant because it wasn't moving. So we dropped the price on this one. It's an LL Bean women's Sherpa vest. I listed this one probably originally closer to $40, but have it automatically dropping prices after so many days. This ended up selling on an offer for $24. I did end up paying boosting fees on this, so my gross profit was $20.51. Another dress, this one was a plus size cottage core dress by the brand Damon. This was very like prairie style. I listed this one for $35 and accepted an offer of $25. Here is another brand-based one. This one also had a lot of attention based on the amount of time that it was listed. I was getting offers what seemed like every single day for this, but I held out for a better price. It is the brand Joa Brown. Joa Brown is a bolo brand. It just kind of depends on what you have, but they do make some pieces that typically have high sell-through rates. They're very, very plain looking. More of like a capsule minimalist wardrobe. This one I had listed for around $50 and I accepted an offer of $45. Since this one was boosted, I ended up with a gross profit of $39.17 before cost of goods. Here is another men's item. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren men's waffle thermal shirt. I listed this one originally for $35, but had an automatic price drop, and it ended up selling on an offer for $22, which I accepted. I only paid $1.53 in processing fees. Another men's piece, this is an Aeropostale Y2K style thicker hoodie in a men's size small. This kind of stuff performs really well for me on Depop. I listed this one for $45 and automatically sent out an offer for $33.33, which was accepted. And I only paid a payment processing fee of $1.91. Another men's item, this one is an Old Navy waffle thermal shirt. This one's in a size extra large. I listed this one for $30. It sold on those automatic offers that my new cross lister sends out for $25.40, and I only paid $1.55 in processing fee. This was an item that I had been sitting on for a little while, so I just wanted to move it. It was an AGB fairy skirt, had a lot of great details. The problem is it was a larger size and it was a shorter-ish midi skirt, so not quite full length. I listed this for $35 and accepted an offer of $22 to move it, and I only paid $1.45. Next up, this is another one that has sat and I've been trying to move it, so we cross-posted it over to Depop. This is Paul Harris design. This is just a cute little sweater with some Fair Isle details. I listed this one for $35 and an offer was automatically sent out for $29.75, which somebody accepted, and I only paid $1.78 in fees. And lastly was this little slip dress that has sat for a little while. This is again something you could find in the intimates, bra, lingerie, pajama section, but can be marketed as a dress on Depop. This one I accepted an offer of $25 for, and I paid a processing fee of $1.51. All right, guys, so that is it for my sales on Depop. I have pulled a few from the last month. Hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know down below if you want me to continue sharing some of the Depop sales, and also let me know if you want to talk about Depop more. I am so stoked that my sales are significantly increasing, but it is because I am putting in the work and giving Depop more of a full effort. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.